Today we're going to look at this idea of athletic range, and specifically the anterior athletic range. It's something I see a lot in throwing athletes, acrobats, dancers, wrestlers, and even yogis, but has not seemed to make its way through to mainstream strength and conditioning. But I do think there's a lot of value in opening up the front of the body using these kinds of ideas. So just want to explore a little bit. Basically, we're just taking the brakes off of the front of the body and opening everything up, which is also, it's going to be a form of strength training that we can use to strengthen the front of the body through a large range of motion. And you can do things like use more speed to make it a little bit more elastic, makes you feel pretty young. And once again, if you have acrobats who have an insane movement vocabulary, you have wrestlers who are amazing at producing force in many different ways, and you have throwers who are some of the most powerful athletes on the planet, all using this type of work, then there's some value to be had, whether it's in your mainstream strength and conditioning or not. So just gonna start off with a basic idea of opening up the front of the body. One very easy way is through the use of pullovers. This is going to open up that overhead position, open up the T-spine, which all this will do all together. This is a good place to start. We also have ideas where I can open up more of the entire range. I'll take the medicine ball overhead and I'll watch it, so I'm getting that opening of the front of the neck, opening the front of the chest. And let the medicine ball carry me back, and I use my strength to come back up. So we're opening the front of the body, but we also have to produce force to get back. So it's not strength training in the same way that your heavy compounds are, but if we think about it as we lift heavy, that's squats, deadlifts, presses, heavy pulls. We move fast, sprinting, jumping, throwing, and then we produce force through this length. I do think that that's the way to bulletproof the body, although I'm not a huge fan of the misnomer. Do the same thing, front of the hip flexor. We've all seen the reverse Nordics. We can scale that by putting our feet up. The higher up the feet go, the easier it is to enter into working on the reverse Nordic. Gradually over time, can reduce the height. Like this is fairly comfortable. I could probably hit this for about 20 reps compared to a reverse Nordic, which I could not do for as many. You can increase intensity on the front of the hip by going into more of a split stance here. Really focus on pushing that hip forward, letting yourself lower. So now all that weight is coming down onto just the one leg. This is good, helping you to develop that front split. It's part of my work in developing my front split. Get both sides. If you really want to add some extra challenge to it, you can also go arm overhead. And you can also rotate. I'm not quite strong enough to do that. Right. There's where I lose it. And once again, just lowering the height of the box by itself will make this harder. I'm not strong enough to do that with my hip forward quite yet with one leg. Now, where we see this a lot, that was a lot more what you might see from throwers. With wrestlers and with acrobats, you see a lot of back bridge work. I've never had a particularly strong back bridge. It's always actually been kind of my weakness. It's that shoulder and upper back complex, but it's that ability to be in these back bend positions, strengthening the back, opening up the front, strengthening the shoulders in that overhead position, getting a little bit more resilience. Once again, this is something that we can use elevation of the feet to accomplish. I would like to have straight arms, but I can't do straight arms on the ground quite yet. But I can come up, feet onto a box. From here, I can now use straight arms. I can do push-ups here. Focus on driving just a little bit at the top of each rep. I can do holds. I can lean into it, or I can start to use it a little bit more aggressively, putting some speed through it. So as we said, like things that are heavy, things that are fast, and things through length. Well, if you could go fast through length, or if you go heavy through length, or if you go fast, heavy, and through length, you'd be producing pretty impressive amounts of force. And once again, you'd probably have a much more resilient body, provided that you do it on a scalable level and you can handle it. So here, a little bit more gymnastics oriented. I think that's going to be one of those ways that you can create that really nice whippy spine. You can put a lot of force through, can produce better overhead positioning. So you're opening up the entire front of the body, you're taking the brakes off, you're getting stronger, you're getting more resilient. And really, the more that I look at sports, the more that I look at athletic movements, the more I realize how much the spine really is involved. And Jefferson curls are all the rage lately, the idea of the loaded flexion. I love them. I think my PR with them's 255 for a 1 rep max on a Jefferson, but I'm not as advanced here yet, but there's that room to grow. So do the loaded flexion. Don't forget to open up the front of the body and with a similar thought, and probably get into rotation and lateral flexion as well if you really want to bulletproof your spine and you really want it to be a very strong part of your performance.